Hello, everyone. This is EB the Sponge Reviewer here, and I just got done watching the leaked Plankton movie, which was supposed to come out on Netflix in 2025. And I'm here to give you guys a spoiler free review of the movie and to tell you guys my overall thoughts of it. So, right off the bat, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. This is probably my favorite spin-off movie that we had, along with the Sandy Cheeks movie. Honestly, I actually prefer this movie more than the Sandy Cheeks movie for many good reasons, and I'm going to explain it to what you guys in this video, of course. So, the overall plot of this movie centers around Plankton and Karen's relationship, and the way how they handled it was pretty cool and interesting, and I really liked the plot of this movie a lot. So basically, Plankton goal is to have world domination, along with Karen, basically, and so what happens in the movie is that because Plankton's world domination turns out to be a complete flop of in the movie, um, he basically goes back to the chum bucket to realize that Karen had made a makeover of the chum bucket, and Plankton becomes very upset about it, and he just starts destroying the chum bucket because of Karen's idea, and this basically makes Karen go into a rage. She becomes this giant mech. Yes, Karen is the villain of this movie, and that's a huge step up from Saving Bikini Bottom, where Tsunami was the villain of that movie. And if I were to be totally honest, I prefer this movie way more than the Sandy Cheeks movie, even if I haven't pointed that obviously in the beginning of this review. But Karen as the villain was really interesting, is because that it was I really liked her design of her mech. Basically, what her mech was, it was basically three different personality chips that Plankton included into Karen, because not only this movie dials into Plankton's and Karen's relationship, this plot also dives back into their backstory to get to the bottom of why Plankton and Karen were feuding, and in order to stop Karen's wrath is to go back through their past to see um, what happened and how Plankton and Karen got to meet in the first place. And my good friend Demeech did a review on this movie on Monday, and he talked about the fact that it retconned the plot of Friend or Foe. And I want to be totally honest with you guys. I am aware of Friend or Foe, but I don't have any recollections of watching that special before in the past. I am aware of it, but I mean, if I would be totally honest, I have a really foggy memory, so I don't really remember myself watching that episode back in like middle school or something like that, because I wasn't even watching all that much TV when I was in middle school anyways. So I probably would have not watched the episode, but because this is a Plankton movie, they kind of retcon the whole friend or foe thing, how Plankton and Mr. Krabs met, and because of their rivalry and all that stuff. But yeah, so another highlight of this movie is the return of the Gal Pals from Girls' Night Out, which consists of SpongeBob. Well, I'm sorry, not SpongeBob. Gary. What am I doing? Why am I freaking this up? Mrs. Puff, Pearl, Sandy, and Karen, basically. Yeah, so those are the Gal Pals, and they play a role in this movie. It was really cool seeing them, I guess. We also get to see the appearance of Rube for the first time in the spin-off movies. Yeah, this is actually Rube's first appearance in the SpongeBob movies, and it was really cool seeing him in the movie. And I really like the animation styles that they went with this movie. They tackled through different animation styles, mostly being 2D. And just like with the other SpongeBob movies, this is a musical, and all the songs in this movie were pretty catchy. I really did enjoy the songs in this movie, especially Karen's song, her villain song. I thought that was a really cool song as well. And this movie does have live action, but not to the extent as Sponge on the Run and the Saving Bikini Bottom Sandy Cheeks movie, the live action segments actually reminded me of Sponge Out of Water, where it was mostly like done like towards the end of the movie and like through a climax sequence. But yeah, and the human characters didn't have any speaking roles, so that was a plus. And if they do tackle more live action in these movies, I want them to handle it like they did with Sponge Out of Water and the Plankton movie, where the villain isn't like a live action character. Is because that I think SpongeBob is better off having villains based off of an existing character, or they come up with an original new character. And I think that's what I want them to do for these future SpongeBob movies, to have the villains either be an existing character or they just come up with a new character that is like animated and stuff like that. So overall, those are my final thoughts of the Plankton movie. I'm not going to go into any further details just because that I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. But yes, I really enjoyed this movie way more than Saving Bikini Bottom. In fact, this movie is my favorite of the two spin-off movies that we got. So let the Plankton movie be the Patrick Star show of the spin-off movies, just because I prefer this movie way more than the Sandy movie. I really enjoyed the story. The Karen being the villain was a breath of fresh air, and I really liked what they did with her character in this movie. It was really cool seeing all of the other characters being involved with the story. And honestly, I get people's nostalgia for the first movie, but the reason why I like the sequels better is because we get to see the characters do more in the movies, and that's what was lacking in the first movie. It's that the characters didn't have much to do, and I think that was my biggest problem with the movie. And I understand that's not what the goal of the first movie was, but that's why I kind of like the sequels better, because the characters get to do more, and we get to see them interact with the character with one another, and that's really cool. And that's what I like about the sequels more than the first movie, is that the characters get to do stuff, unlike with the first movie where all Sandy did was just said, "Well, I paid 10," and she's going "yeehaw" at the end of the first movie, and that was really about it. But that's the first movie, and that's all I can say about it. So yeah, that is my review on the Plankton movie. Pretty freaking good movie. It was awesome. I really enjoyed this movie, and it was better than Saving Bikini Bottom, in my opinion. Alright, so that is my review. Thank you all for watching. If you guys would like to see the movie for yourself, it's leaked on Twitter somewhere. You're just going to have to find it yourself, because I'm not going to post it because it's leaked, obviously, and I don't post links to these episodes or movies because I don't. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with more SpongeBob reviews.